Recently, the 15th AICFB National Championships for the visually challenged were held in Pune, and it was a very, very important event for all the visually challenged players of India. All the top players from across India participated, and the winner was Soundarya Pradhan, who is right there in the center of the screen for you. He actually broke Kishan Gangolli's record. Kishan finished second. He's on the left in this picture. He won 6 times the national championship. He was aiming for his 7th title, but Soundarya won. Third place went to Swapnil Shah. And today we are going to talk with Soundarya Pradhan, and it gives me immense pleasure to welcome him on our video here. Hello, Soundarya, how are you?
Thank you very much. And I would like to say hello to all the viewers.
Yeah, Soundarya, what a brilliant performance, because after 6 rounds, Kishan was on 5.5 out of 6, and it seemed like he will once again win the title, but this time you managed to clinch it.
Yes, I'm very happy about it. In fact, one of the reasons I'm happy is that some of the players there, like including Kishan, Darpan, Aryan, Marimuthu, Swapnil sir, and I think many others. I cannot tell everyone's name. There are many players. Some of them are actually stronger than me, and I know that. I mean, so it makes me even happier because this shows that I have performed better than my own expectation. Uh,
and you were like not too much into chess training, and yet you managed to perform so well. So what's the secret here?
Maybe I was not even checking the score of other players. Like who is my competition during the event in the 7th round, 6th round. I did not even know. One thing I knew that Kishan is leading. At some point we are in we have the same score. At some point he's leading, and at some point I started leading. So that is all I knew. I did not know how many players.
You were not taking any stress of the competition.
Yeah, because okay, for the past 2-3 years, I had not really prepared a lot of chess because I'm currently studying in IIT Jamshedpur, doing my 4th year.
Guys, and I must tell you one thing before he continues. Soundarya is 100% visually challenged. He cannot see anything, and he has been studying engineering at NIT in Jamshedpur, computer science.
Yes,
computer science, and he's going to finish his engineering this year, and he will soon be doing a job, and he will, I mean, what an inspiring story there in itself. But to add to it, he's also now the national champion of India. So yeah, Soundarya, you can continue.
Thank you, sir. So what I was saying is that at least this year, right, in the 4th year, I was not really in a situation to practice chess a lot, right? Because I was working for my placement, which is the most critical year of any BTech student. And I think I'm lucky in a sense that right after I got my placement, I started entering into chess. And also, the structure of this event is kind of different. That is, before we had a national B tournament. From there, top 14 were selected to play national.
Right.
And from there, a few top players, 4 or 5, depending on whether team or individual, would represent India in some event. This time, we had about 60 players, I guess, and all of them were fighting to come in top. It was not round robin. Surprisingly enough, the first round, the second round, the third round, all of them were difficult for me, which really wasn't the case in other events.
Yeah, also,
I mean, the previous national.
I saw the strength of this tournament was so good. I mean, there were so many young talents, underrated, who I also was checking the games every day.
That's the problem. I mean, the many players are underrated. Like you expect to maybe win a little bit easier game when you're playing with someone about 500 points lower than you, but it's not happening. So looking at the strength of players, I felt like someone who is 1200 is playing this well. So definitely, players who have the same rating as me might be doing much better than me. And I mean, this was the kind of thought I had. And I was mostly like, okay, let's enjoy this event. And it's kind of fun meeting and interacting with a lot of players after this lockdown, after,
Yeah.
after a few years. And I was not really thinking about selection for the first few rounds. I mean, not really, like not at all thinking, of course, but I mean, that was not in the front of my mind, because I, like, what happens is that we always fantasize, and my fantasies were always about how I will advance in my coding career for now, right? For 1 2 years, that's my plan. So, and when I was in like fifth, sixth round, by that time, like I started leading sometimes with Kishan and sometimes in the second position. And when I was in, when I was in a situation where I would worry about championship, I was already selected. Selected in the sense I would need only a draw or two, and I mean,
You mean in the
uh,
top five, you were already there.
something like that. Yes. So I would not. Yeah. So I was not really. I don't know. Due to a set of some strange sequence of coincidences, I really did not have to take a lot of stress.
I think this is a very interesting point you mentioned, because right through your chess career, you have always wanted to achieve like the top place there. You wanted to maybe go
Yeah.
for IM title, GM title, become the world champion in visually challenged, also
Right. I have said it
win
in videos
medals.
also.
Yeah, all of that. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, now the focus of your thing has shifted to your career, to placements. And
Yeah.
while you couldn't spend as much time on chess, maybe your mindset became a
Hmm.
little more freer, you took a little less pressure, and that can be very helpful.
Yeah. Also, one reason is that when I am coding all day, or
Hmm.
like coding or learning some different technology stacks in coding all week, all month, right?
Hmm.
And I get to play a tournament. Uh, I kind of enjoyed chess more than I would. I would have.
Yeah. I know from my experience, when I meet people who do like jobs and they play these weekend tournaments, it's like vacation for them, that
Yeah.
it's kind of relaxing, while those who are core hardcore chess players, it's a lot of pressure sometimes. So completely get it. And this time it was a very important event, because top 5 players qualified to world team championship that will happen in Macedonia. We also had selection to world junior boys, world junior girls, and also there was selection for the Asian para games, which are going to happen later this year. And that's also very important. So Soundarya has made it to the world team championship, also for the Asian para games. And I think Soundarya, it's the first time in many years that the prize money of this tournament organized by AICFB was very good. It was 51,000. So that also made it special.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. It made it very special. Uh, because I am already, you know, focusing on my exams, which are coming next month.
Right.
So, and about the prize money, I did not really know about this till the fourth, fifth round
Mm.
as well.
Correct, correct. Yeah, yeah. You're talking like
So all surprises.
Pragnananda, you're talking like all these youngsters, I asked them, so what about the prize money? You won $10,000. And they're like, yeah, I don't know. It's okay. We just make good moves.
I
That's
mean, I'm talking this way for a completely different reason, though. I mean,
that's true.
I
That's
mean,
true.
they keep winning. I don't. So there's a difference. But okay, there was something similar that I had once achieved, like something similar that is happening now had happened to me when I was in class 10. So I played in Manipal. I think it was in 2015.
Mhm.
So it was a national beach chess championship for the blind,
Right.
and I had exams coming up in 2 months, class 10 exam.
Mhm.
And before the chess tournament, uh, for like 2 3 months, I had only focused on my studies. But just before the tournament, I spent like 10 days preparing.
Mhm.
And again, I won that event, but that time also I knew that I mean, there are really stronger players than me. So I don't know. I think it really has an impact when we
Yeah,
enjoy chess rather than uh, aim to achieve something. Maybe in the long run, it's good to aim for sure because this gives us a direction. But during the event, if the tension is not there, it's probably nice.
absolutely. You know, Soundarya,
Also,
yeah,
yeah.
go on.
Also, I would like to thank my coach Neeraj Mishra sir. I have recently started learning from him,
Wow.
uh, and I was really, when I started learning again, I was not planning to play a lot of tournaments here and there. I was learning because hey, I'm going to get a job, and I am personally a person who does not spend a lot of money here and there. So I felt like let's spend it on something that I like. So before getting the job, I mean, I decided to take coaching. Not only that, I mean, to spend on learning as well from uh, books, materials, etc. Like I felt like I'll just spend some time every day from different sources and I'll learn,
Hmm.
right? But then I think since I performed well in this event and I have got selected, now my plans have to change, right? Before I thought that I'll just get a job and I'll focus on that. But now I'm like, there are two events where I'm going to represent my country, and this has to be the priority.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah,
So you will maybe work harder in the coming
yes,
days. I
right,
also remember, Soundarya, that you were the first one to win the World Junior silver medal for India in visually challenged. Before that, Darpan had won the bronze medal, so you had created a record there as well.
yeah,
And there, when we did an interview with you,
yeah.
I got to know that you come from a very difficult situation, difficult place. It's a small town, small village called Boden, where there was no electricity, where there was no internet. I mean, electricity would fluctuate, and
Yes, like sometimes there will be lightning strike and the transformer would go boom like for 5, 6, 10 days. Sometimes like 10, 15 years ago, I remember that for months we have stayed without electricity.
wow. And from there, it's not only this situation, it's also the fact that you and your brother both could
Yeah.
not see, and so many difficulties all around. uh, what was your mindset like? Because these days we see people, a small problem comes by and they feel bogged down. How did you guys always stay so positive?
Yeah, I think we also get bogged down with small problems, but the point is that we need to get out at some point, right? If we get fascinated by bigger things, then probably we'll get bogged down for maybe a less duration, a smaller duration than what happens usually. For example, when I was a kid, I was 12, 13 years old. No, even younger, like 10 years old.
Hmm.
When I would see a flight, when
Hmm.
I would hear the sound of a flight, I mean, I was getting fascinated by something flying and I wanted to fly.
You had not even seen a flight, it was just your
Yeah.
imagination.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I would get absolutely fascinated by that. Why I wanted to fly. And I think I was probably the first child of my village to fly.
Really?
I think so. I mean, I really have not verified it, but I think so.
I guess you guys were the reason why internet also was put up in Boden, right? Wasn't that a
True.
story?
Yes. We had a 2G internet connectivity,
Hmm.
and even the 2G internet connectivity would fluctuate.
Hmm.
So uh, we were like doing well in chess, not yet in international level, but I think we had won some prizes in some national competitions. So me and my brother went with my father to our district telecommunication department. We told them that we are chess players, and I think they kind of were fascinated by the fact that blind people are speaking English this way and so on. And like, yeah. And then we told them that we study using computers.
Mhm.
And we talked to them about the benefits that any blind person can get through computer, through internet, and so on. But they were kind of reluctant to provide us with internet because they thought that there will not be enough customers in my village.
Mm.
So we told them a list of people who might get internet, and we actually convinced them. And yeah, there are many people who actually use high-speed internet now in my village.
Amazing. That's a great story. So many interesting things. Before we go to chess analysis, I want to ask you one last thing that, as you said, you need to dream big. You need
Yeah,
to have that kind of positive approach. You need to get fascinated by things. But
yeah,
concretely, what are the
yeah.
things that you did, you think, is now has placed you in a situation where you are an engineer in computer science, you're going to get a great job, you are also the national champion, you have won the silver medal at Asian Championship, so many accomplishments. What do you think are the concrete steps that you took which has helped you reach here?
I think one very important thing is how we talk to ourselves. Every time we talk to ourselves, I mean, I've heard that people who meditate a lot probably talk less to themselves, but I have never managed to do that. And I know that I talk to myself, and
Mm,
everyone I know of, at least anyone close to me, they talk to themselves, and their constant chattering actually creates the belief system they have.
mm,
And I think that everybody in some way is the central character in his story, right?
mm,
So I think how you visualize yourself has a far bigger impact than people estimate.
mm,
And it not only has a positive impact, sometimes it can be negative. Like, for example, I know that uh, I'm a nerd. I
mhm,
keep reading books,
mhm,
and uh, sometimes people might feel like I'm not talking to them enough.
mm.
My friends, my relatives, they call me and this is saying, you never call me. I mean, this is the complaint that I will be probably in number one if I if there's a competition in this. But I of course love all of them in my own way.
Mm,
So yeah, this is, I mean, this, there can be both a positive and negative impact of how you view yourself to be. So how I look at myself, like how I imagine myself, what is the story that I have, is that I see things like in the middle of the night something happens. This is a part of my imagination. Okay, something that happens often. For
mhm,
example, in the middle of the night there's a requirement. I need to wake up to do something good,
mhm.
and if I don't, then I stay average.
Then you stay.
Average, I mean, nothing
Mhm,
better happens,
mm,
and I always choose to wake,
mm.
in the story that is.
Okay.
And some stories like this come in my mind. Not only this, I mean, many such things happen, I don't even remember that, but constant chattering keeps happening in my mind.
Mm,
And I think it happens in everybody. They probably don't pay enough attention to it, but I think we do think about it. It's not like I mean, what do you do when let's say if we are playing a game and sometimes we get bored, our opponent is not playing a move, what do? You think about something.
yeah.
What do you do when you're when you're waiting for your question paper in an exam?
Mm,
uh, I just gave this example for the people who are like extremely hardworking,
mm,
but for people like me,
mm,
uh, and I mean, I don't consider myself as an extremely hardworking person. I'm a hardworking person. So
mm,
for people like me, I would say that this kind of chattering happens almost always
mm.
right before we sleep, when we wake up. I think how we view ourselves actually creates what we become in a few years at least.
Tremendous, tremendous. That's a great advice here. And I think in our this short talk, people would have gotten a lot of life advice from you. It's time
Thank
to
you.
turn to chess advice now, Soundarya.
So,
Let's have a look at your game, your favorite
yeah.
game from this tournament, which was against Subhendu Kumar Patra. I
Yeah.
think a very strong player himself, even
Yes,
higher
indeed.
rated than you,
Yeah.
1783, you were 1749. And the game started off with 1 e4. You were
Yeah, let me
walking.
tell you that Subhendu Bhai is a very, very strong player. Like everyone is afraid of him, including myself. In Italy, he had played in 2019, I think it was,
Hmm.
and he had defeated a few international masters, and he had an extremely good performance.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember that when I covered the national championship in 2018, he was
Mhm.
kind of a newcomer
Yeah,
at that point. But the amount of effort he has put in the last couple of years
it's
has
incredible. Like you
propelled
had you
him to
had
the top.
suggested him to focus on his health and things, and I can assure you, I saw him later in different events. He did physical exercise like anything after that.
Right, right. And it
So yeah, he
doesn't.
is a person who does such things.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
So you are black here, and you
Yes.
played your favorite French defense, right?
Yeah.
This is one of your main openings. And guys, right now, Soundarya can't see the screen what I'm showing, but he has a braille chess set along with him where he's making
Yes.
the moves, and we will analyze together.
Is
Uh,
it coming on the camera?
no, it's not coming.
Yeah, just here it is, just to
Ah, now
show.
it's there. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh,
Quickly explaining, the dark squares are raised,
mm-hmm,
the large squares are below,
mm-hmm,
right? The black pieces have a dot over them,
mm.
and there is a hole, and there is a stand, like a leg, and this helps in setting a piece in the fixture.
Amazing. And I must say that Soundarya is one of the fastest move makers. There's a video on ChessBase India which you can go and check out. The speed at which he makes moves is phenomenal. So, Soundarya, Subhendu played 2b3. Were you
Yes.
surprised?
Yeah.
Not prepared, right, for that?
Yeah. Yes, indeed, not prepared.
Okay.
And in fact, I opening is not my strong point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So d5, you played logically. Subhendu went bishop b2, and here you went knight f6. Why didn't you like take this pawn? D takes e4.
I mean, if I take d takes e4, then I'm pretty sure that he must be prepared, and I'm not.
I remember that there's this player called Shivananda who is very aggressive. He's an IM, and he
Yeah.
used to play knight c3 after d takes e4, knight
Mhm.
f6, and then there was this move g4, if I'm not mistaken, and you kind of get really wild positions on the board. So in a way, it's better that you you went knight
Okay, thank you.
f6.
Thank you so much for letting me know. Now, at least I don't regret playing knight f6 at all because,
Yeah. So you went knight
yeah,
f6,
yeah,
e5,
yeah.
knight d7,
Knight f7,
f4,
f4,
b6 was played.
b6.
So b6, what's the plan there?
I just wanted to wait and watch what he does, and maybe at some point exchange on a6.
Mm-hmm.
I am still not sure if I want to play c5 or not. Uh, but I felt like b6 I'll play anyway at some point, so I will like just play it now.
Okay, okay. So he went queen g4. It's
Yeah,
already a good square for the queen because now you can't develop your bishop. G7 pawn hangs.
yeah,
Uh, and here you went h5, which is typical of French to push the queen away. But after
yeah.
queen g3,
Hmm.
Soundarya now came up with a move which was very unique here. And maybe you guys can think as to what did Soundarya play here. And you can pause the video, and once you found it, you can restart. So Soundarya, explain the thought process, because I would have gone for something like c5 or let's say bishop a6, but you decided to turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, I really did not feel like I'll castle in the king side anymore.
Hmm.
I did not feel like I'll have a way to get my rook out to the eighth rank. Uh, and I'm already out of preparation.
Okay.
So I felt like the way that white might attack can involve the f pawn.
Hmm.
So I thought that if aero pawn h6 might really help me. Maybe like at some point f5 comes, I can take ef5 and my rook just is free to swing to any side of the board from h6.
Okay,
That is the plan.
interesting. Maybe objectively not the strongest move,
Yeah,
but definitely very creative. So he went knight f3, and now suddenly you pushed your a pawn.
yeah,
It's like you are not letting him settle down on one thought, one train of thought.
yeah. I think at this point, it's probably out of preparation for
Hmm.
him as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So your threat is now to play a4, maybe?
Yes, a4 and just fold.
Right. So he went a4
Yeah.
here. You played bishop a6. He played
Yes.
knight to a3, and now you went c6, stopping his knight.
Yeah. And creating some space in the queen side.
Right. So knight to d4 was played,
Yes.
and you went queen c8.
Yeah, like after rook bishop a6, I did not really want to capture with the rook.
Now you can take with the knight because
Yeah.
c6 is defended.
Yeah. Also, in some lines, like not everywhere, but sometimes it's possible to play bishop f1 and queen a6.
Mm, right. You can also bring your queen out there. Correct.
Yeah.
And then he long castled.
Yeah.
Did that come as a surprise to you?
Yes. I mean, it's not like uh, it's not like I have an attack in the queen side,
Hmm.
but I really did not feel like he would castle here because maybe like I'll sack a pawn or two and like it's unclear at least to say the least, right? And I did not think that he would like to come into an unclear position, so I did not really expect it from him.
Hmm. Correct. So you went here knight c5,
Yeah.
maybe looking at the e4 square for your knight,
Yes, indeed.
and he took maybe him taking helped you because then you could bring your knight out. And
Probably the thought behind his move is that if he plays d3, then the bishop is kind of dead on its own.
right, right. So he thought, why not I first exchange, take, and
Yeah.
then play d3. And
Yes.
this is the moment where Soundarya played a very good move, guys. This is, I think, the key moment of the game. What should you play here as black? And I think this just goes to show that his understanding of chess is very, very good. The opening phase is over now, and black needs to concretely come up with an idea. So, what do you do here? Pause the video, and once you have found an answer, you can restart it, and Soundarya will explain to you why he did what he did. So, Soundarya, tell us.
So I played the move b5.
Amazing.
Uh, the point is that white has castled in the queen side, and uh, I think his pieces are not really very well coordinated for a defense in the queen side. And like after b5, I'm threatening b into a4. If
Right.
I place a into b5, I have cb5 followed by a4.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if this will end in a win or something for black, but I think the pressure will be on white only.
Right. I remember when I was young and I was reading a book of Mark Doretsky. There was one very nice example where a player with black pieces blundered a b pawn, like on b5, but white had long castled, and he had written, although I blundered a pawn, it opened a file up. So in a way, I think opening up lines is very important when you have opposite, like kind of when the opponent's king is on the queen side.
Yeah, and it's like my queen is right in front of the king, like extra attack,
Yes, absolutely.
kind
So
of indirect. Yeah.
he can't take ND b5 because then you could think of knight takes b3 check.
Indeed.
So you
So ABCB, knight b5, knight b3 would happen. So
he took knight a b5 there, and
yes,
you were like relentless. You opened up further lines with a4, and I
yeah,
think this is the moment where Subendu started to get a little bit he panicked here, which is natural because when your king is coming under the attack, even great players panic. So king d2, he started to run away from there.
yeah, yeah,
You took a b3,
yes.
and now he went rook a1. What was your plan if he took, let's say, knight b3?
After AB3, if he had taken one second. If he had taken knight b3,
Yeah,
um, my plan
or
was to play knight
cb3.
b3.
Yeah, if knight b3, your plan was to
In
play
both
knight.
cases, knight b4, yeah.
Knight b4. Got it.
And d3 is under attack. In case of knight b3, if I play knight b4, like next move rook a2 might come. Um,
Hmm.
there might be sacrifices on c2.
So
So
if
I,
cb3 also, then knight b4 was strong. So this was Soundarya's plan. Subendu went rook a1 there,
yes,
and b takes c2. You opened
yeah,
up further lines, and he went rook hc1. Here, you could not play knight b4 because of rook a8, queen a8, and knight c7. That would have been a terrible end to the game.
yeah,
So you went rook b8, and now Subendu took rook takes c2.
yeah, like rook b8. It's like I can play knight b3 or rook b5 or knight b4. Like one does not need to calculate to see that it's like
Right.
dangerous for white here.
But when he took rook c2, did you start getting worried? Because, now even your king is slightly exposed on e8, and secondly, his
I
rook
was
is.
worried, but I don't think that I was worried enough. I should have been a little more worried.
I think it's your this has been your winning mantra here, to stay a
Yeah,
little bit ignorant about what's happening.
yeah, indeed.
Okay, so knight b4 was played by you,
Yeah,
and he went rook to c3,
yeah, and
defending his d3 pawn. And
yes,
next, something truly fascinating happened. Can you take us through the next couple of moves? What happened?
yeah, and this is why I said that I was not worried enough because I played knight b into d3. I was kind of in the flow of the game. Like sometimes it happens that wow, this position is nice, and I'm getting so many different combinations are coming. Something just is going to happen right now. This was the kind of mindset I was having. Right, not like underestimating my opponent or something, but this is like the position is just like this. It's extremely pleasant for black,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And I have kind of built this position with all the pawn storms and kind of a good placement of pieces, I would say.
Hmm.
So I played knight b into d3,
Right. Right.
and the only move that I had expected from white is rook into d3.
Hmm. Which
I
happened in
mean,
the game.
yeah, I mean, other moves that I saw were like to save the bishop and so on, which really
I mean, whatever
doesn't
he
help
does,
me.
if he saves his bishop, there is a fork coming with knight e4.
Yeah, so like at least he would lose his bishop. You can say this is what I thought,
Yeah.
but white has a way to kind of get the advantage.
Hmm. So, guys, try to think what should Subendu have done here, and that could have put Soundarya's national title in jeopardy here, but he
Yeah.
didn't find it in the game. And did you guys analyze it after the game, or that was just missed?
Um, After the game, it's not right there on the board. Just before the next round, we had a talk,
Ah.
and he told me that you also missed, I also missed this move. Then we were laughing together.
Yeah. So the move
I
here.
guess, yeah.
Yeah. Go on, Soundarya.
Did we pause the video for
Yes.
this?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So can you tell us the winning move for white?
Queen into d3.
Queen takes d3, and now the problem is that if knight takes d3, there is rook c8 intermediate check you have to take, and after king takes d3, white is totally winning this. Although materially black is not doing so bad. He has a rook and a pawn for two pieces, but these two knights are just massive. Rook is entering the position, so it looks.
Yeah, like if I had bishop e7 and if I had the rook on h8, then I would have castled and I could say that okay, I can fight or something. But now I really have
Right,
nothing.
right. Yeah, there's nothing much here. So
Yeah.
this would have been winning, but Subendu took with the rook, and knight e4 check came in, and he resigned the game. And with this, Soundarya managed. I think this was the game that helped you take the lead in the tournament.
Yes. Yeah.
Very crucial seventh round. Then you beat Aryan Joshi, which was again a very nice game by you. And then you drew the last round to win the title. Soundarya, it
Yes.
has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I told Soundarya after his tournament that let's speak and do an interview, and he said I have to reach my college. So right now he is in his campus. Do you have some work to do, or how is it like right now?
Yes, yes. I am doing some. I'm in some training, internship training.
Mm-hmm.
So I am focusing on that as well as my exam preparations. And actually, the nicest thing about all this is that I met my friends yesterday
Mm.
after 2 years.
Oh, Acha, so your college also you have come after 2 years.
Yes, yes. It opened, let's say, like 1 month ago, but I had tournaments, so I did not come here.
Nice. And what did they say? Did they know you had become the national champion?
Yes, yes. Three of my friends had come to pick me in the middle of the night at like 1:30. So yeah, I have nice friends.
That would have been such a nice feeling to meet them
Yes,
at
indeed.
the to meet them. And
Yes.
Soundarya, once again congratulations, and we wish you
Thank you
good
so
luck
much.
for all your future tournaments. We will be following all of them.
Thank you so much, sir. It's always so nice talking to you and learning from you. Uh, I always admire you for so much of help that you have given to everybody. I would say in the chess community. Thank you so much.
Well, my pleasure, Soundarya, and see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye, sir.